Hey YouTube, Super Yoshi 109 here. Deck profile for you guys. It's called Nuts and Bolts. It's a gadget deck that plays a special card. Now, how I found this special card? I was playing outside with my friend, and he showed me a card that he found under his couch. I read it. It's a really old card. I looked and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this card. Lots of people, well, I'm pretty sure lots of people used to play it back then, since special summons weren't big. But it just made, that card itself made very explosive plays back then. And in this deck, it just makes even bigger explosive plays. So, without further ado, it is nuts and bolts. That sounds funny. Alright, so we got 3 reds, 3 yellows, 3 greens. Please don't hate me for running 3 of each. This deck is not possible without 3 of each. The card that makes this possible, you need to have 3 of each, otherwise it's very inconsistent, and the card is a dead card, and this deck does not work properly whatsoever. 3 earframes. Wow, I don't need to say anything. Earframe is just here to search out for fortresses. And then we've got peacekeepers to search out for the earframes or themselves. This deck, it's amazing because every card in the deck, it will replace itself except for the fortresses. Every other card will replace itself somehow with a different card. So that's why I like this deck a lot. The dead draws in this deck are almost impossible to get. I mean, like towards the end, because it's a lot easier to get dead draws. It's just you usually don't get them. This deck's got advantage all over the place, whether it's the field or the hand. It's usually not graveyard advantage or control or whatever you want to call it. But when you control the field and hand advantage over your opponent, you just win because, I mean, this deck's just, it can be very explosive. It's really fast, and more, the good thing about this deck is that it's very fun to play. So those are the monsters, spells. We've got MST and his monster destruction. Please Smashing Grounds. Please PM me if you have Smashing Grounds. I need them. Please PM me. Yes, I will trade things that I might find or even for them. Just hope I'm not stupid. I'm not going to trade something like my Battle Fader or my Launcher for one. So at least reasonable offers. 1 limit removal with 3 solidarities. We need to pull off OTK. And just in general, it just gives the gadgets the boost that they need. I mean, like with Fortress and Gearframe, it doesn't matter that much. But when you use that with gadgets, it just makes it so that they're strong. What I like is that if you're playing against Infernities and they set their Necromancer, if you go summon green or summon red and you go Solidarity, you can attack over it, which is really neat to do. So I have shown you those. I wasn't playing this next card at first, but this card, it's just so broken, this deck. It's hilarious how broken this card is. 3 creature swaps. What? Now, some of you may be saying, what's wrong with you? Why do you run creature swap? Now, you wouldn't say that, but you'd say, like, why am I running 3? This deck, it just, you summon a gadget, you just swap it. I mean, like, you have another one in your hand, you can just swap next turn if you need to. I mean, like with the special card in this deck, it just helps the swapping. It helps it make swaps are actually a lot more useful. And it's just in general, it's just amazing. 2 bottomless. Oh yeah, we're now in the traps. 2. They're standard. I don't have to say. I mean, 3 deep prisons. In most decks, this format, I'd say that they're staples. Really. 2 oppressions. This format. Infirmities and X-Sabers. They were big things that we shot on the championship series. Also, for anyone who doesn't know, Mackin Gadgets did win the championship series. I was very shocked to hear that. There was Infernities in Mackin Gadgets. Mackin Gadgets 2-0 Infernities. It was pretty funny. The guy went solemn. He had 17 left, and then he summons Gear Frame and attacks the game. It was pretty hilarious. I felt bad for the guy. He did, just enough and not solemn. Kill yourself. But Mackin Gadgets, I mean, it's probably the first budget deck I'd say is probably one of the best budget decks. It really is. If you're a new player to this game, go to Target, buy 3 of those structure decks, and you have a deck that could win you your locals, or top, or even win a regionals, or even one of those big events like that, like the guy who won. So, congrats to the guy who won, by the way. That's very cool, winning with Mackin Gadgets. Alright, so let's go back with the deck now. 2 Starlight Roads, because you need protection. Now, some people don't like that because it interferes with Solidarity. But the thing is, this deck, when you're going for the OTK, if you attack, then you'll use it to bring it out. And, basically, like, you use it. But with this deck, you'll have a full field most of the time. So if you use Starlight, it's optional to special summon the Stardust. If you have a full field, you can't special summon the Stardust. So its negation would come in, but the other thing would. So it's basically almost acting like the Solemn track here. That doesn't give you anything at all. It just uses it and it just stops the card. The reason I like it over my body is because it can protect your traps and your spells that you have on the field. So like if you have like a Solidarity and something else on the field and they go heavy, then that really can't hurt you. If you go Starlight, then you just get advantage. And then Solemn's just going to be the other. Air Force, Torrential, it's my destruction. And then a special card of Awesomeness. I run 2 Ultimate Offering. Lots of people don't like me for running this. Like a lot of you are probably going to say, ew, you're running 3 gadgets, I just don't like this deck already. This deck, you do is you summon a gadget, add another one to your hand, Ultimate Offering, pay 500, summon another gadget. For those of you who don't know what Ultimate Offering is, basically says, it's a trap card, it says you can pay 500 life points to normal summon or set another card this turn. Then you can use it as many times as you want. The downside to it is that your opponent can use it. So like if you're playing this deck, please don't just like randomly use it. Like if you know that you can't go for an OTK or something. Because your opponent can use it and then your opponent can pwn you. I've seen that happen before and it's just embarrassing when you lose like that. So that is the deck. I'll go over a few combos now with the deck. I mean, like, Creature Swap, it's broken in this deck, I'm sorry, it just is. I wasn't even playing it at first. I mean, I don't remember what I was replacing. I was playing, like, a Scrap Recycler or something. I was playing Scrap Recycler and Pot of Avarice in case they got destroyed. But, like those were not working. Like, anything that brings stuff back from the graveyard, like Pot of Avarice or Scrap Recycler, both of those were failures in the deck. Because the Starlights were just always there and ready to help me when I needed them. I'm actually debating on whether I play 3 Starlights or not, just because the protection in this deck is just needed. Without the protection, you just lose. If you don't have any protection, you bring out 5 gadgets, they go Gear Force. Sure, that would be a good time for Pot of Avarice, but if you don't have Pot of Avarice, you'll lose that match. Wow, this is a long video. I think I'll end it now. So, thanks for watching. And I guess that's all for now. So, peace and subscribe.